Hello and welcome. My name is Jürgen Rinelli and I'm a software consultant. I'm specialized in endpoint management and security. And in my today's tutorial, I'm going to show you the standalone edition from the OS deployer. I'll show the installation process, the configuration process of OS deployer, plus an imaging and a deployment sample. Have fun watching. All right. I'm here on a virtual machine. I'm using Hyper-V and I've set up a fresh Windows installation, Windows 11 Pro, just for the OS deployer to run. And I have a client, Win 11 client, with a standard Windows 11 installation. That's the machine I'm gonna capture later. But first things first. Let's first download the installer from the OS deployer standalone edition. Let's go ManageEngine.com, products, unified endpoint management and security, and patch mobile device OS deployer. Here it is. Let's go to that page. Some more informations, demos, documents, and all the key features of that solution. I'm gonna download straightforward and download again, and download is starting. While it's downloading, yeah, it's getting pretty fast downloaded. Here are the system requirements for the ManageEngine OS deployer. Supported OS for imaging and deployment. Yeah, and there is the supported OS for OS deployer server. That's the important part right now, and that's the needed ports for that component. Yeah, and the supported database, there is a PostgreSQL database coming with Endpoint Central OS deployer, sorry, and the this is MS SQL. What would be supported, you always can change and migrate to an MS SQL database as well, of course. Right, that's about all about the downloading and the system requirements. The download should have happened already. Let's open that file. Okay, here it is. I'll get that down and let's see the system settings. What I have on my OS deployer machine. I have 4 virtual processors and I've added a 16 gig RAM. Fine. Now let's minimize that again. Fine, and let's start installing. Yeah, straightforward, just installing the OS deployer. The OS deployer is a standalone edition, and you can image with it all Windows systems. And the OS deployer also is a part of the larger solution, the suite Endpoint Central. Okay, let's do the advanced install. Read that license agreement. Okay, yes. Now the destination. I'll keep it straight easy on my test environment here onto the C drive. I recommend always such kind of installations, Endpoint Central, OS deployer, patch manager, vulnerability manager, whatever. Install it on a second drive, a D or E drive. I'll keep it here on the C drive. And next is the ports. You could change. I'll stick with the basic standard ports. OS deployer, the name, I'll keep the same. And now let's start. It'll take a few minutes. Extracting files. Okay. All right, now let's skip that registration. You can subscribe here. When you subscribe, you will receive some technical emails. The vendor ManageEngine asking for if you need assistance or something. Start OS deployer. Okay, let's start it. Okay, here is redirected immediately to a README, starting OS deployer client, and such things. Okay, it wanted the edge to start. Okay. It is showing what is the process in starting up the OS deployer so that you won't wonder why it's taking a while and is there something happening at all. Okay, it started. Now let's get that screen a bit bigger. The basic code password is admin. That's always the beginning. We'll change the password immediately. Okay, it's a 29 days test phase trial period. Okay, good. So now let's have a small overview. Let's get a small overview about the OS deployer. In the Home tab at the moment, we will see only Create Image. Within the Create module, we have the online imaging where we can start or import images from other OS deployer from ManageEngine. Then we have the backup user profile. We could back up a user profile here, create a user profile backup. Then we have the repository, image repository. We will create a new repository later on the run. Within the customize section, we have the deployment template, what we can create. It is the section, the template is what where we tell the system what to do, domain join and such things, and naming of computers. Add applications, there we could add some applications, we'll see that as well. Computer specific settings, okay, some parameters for the system to get it automatically named and joined. The deployment where we create the bootable media. By the way, bootable media can be created PXE, USB or ISO. Then there is a deployment task, what we can add, and there is instant tasks, standalone tasks, zero touch deployment status. We'll come over it and cover that when we start imaging and deploying. Drivers is the section where we have our driver repositories. There is discovered drivers, what the system will discover on its own. There is missing drivers section and vendor drivers. Those vendor drivers are the drivers what we will need for the PE image. And yes, for Dell and HP and Lenovo, ManageEngine already provides all the necessary PE drivers. Then there is the admin section. There we have the NAT settings, proxy server, mail server settings. We can start first with, let's go and see the NAT settings. Manage devices within LAN or WAN. Configure NAT settings. When we are inside LAN, the private FQDN is needed. These are the server ports and notification ports to be open. This is how it works. Yes, that's pretty simple. A central server and the endpoints. If we want to manage systems out in the wild, over the internet, then we will need to change. We need a public FQDN, and we would strongly recommend it, need a secure gateway server in the DM set. The secure gateway server is a small piece of software, kind of a forwarding server provided from ManageEngine, can be licensed from ManageEngine, and is fully supported then. And all the communication will be secured through the internet. Okay, I'll not change anything here. Let's go back in admin tab. What else do we have? We have the proxy server. Let's see, I have a direct communication to the internet. You could edit it here. Test connectivity, has been all green already, so shouldn't be any problem. Now, in the admin settings, we have the central server maintenance. That's something I recommend doing at least once a month, and I always do it on a Sunday, one of the Sundays in the month, and I'll perform that 10 o'clock in the morning, and you could get notified prior the maintenance. There is a database maintenance going on for re-indexing tables and such things. So that's saved. Now, next thing to do is central server settings. Automatically starting it up when I boot the system. Yes, launch the client upon successful server start. You can do that if you wish. Automatically apply emergency mitigations. That's something cool. ManageEngine can do that for you, and ManageEngine will inform you if there is a server boot necessary. Server boot is not meant to reboot all the system. It's only the service you have to reboot. Stop and start again. Okay, log level, please leave it at normal. Consider it as debug only if there is a support case open with ManageEngine and they ask you for it. Okay, what else? We have the database settings. Within here, we find the backup directory from the database. The last 7 is standard setup, and you can have a bunch of more database backups kept. And there is a backup password needed if you want to be safe. So database optimization. Within here, I see my total RAM I have on my server, and there is always around 4 GB allocated for the SQL database. In case the system is slow, whatever, you can address more range, more memory to the SQL database, and then you see the expected performance will be that amount faster. If you save it, you need to stop and start the service, because otherwise it won't be allocated. Okay, what else do we have? We have an API Explorer. If you wish to connect to other solutions, there are some basic APIs helping. And there is the MS SQL migration if you wish to migrate to MS SQL. Then we have security settings. The SSL certificate, there is one automatically imported from ManageEngine, but if you wish to add your own third-party certificate, you can do it by choosing one of those supported file formats, upload it here, done. Next is the security settings. Here you should add your emails for receiving security advisories and security recommendations for the central server, and the secure communication for the central server, enable it, and remove the default admin account. Yes, of course, a standard admin account with the name admin and is not really safe to say that. And force two-factor authentication. This is something we will see in the user section as well. And there are some more settings. The third-party certificate you can import here. And there is a certificate-based authentication for agent-server communication. After you applied an own third-party certificate, I recommend that you enable it. Just keep in mind that the older agent versions won't be able to communicate. There is a learn more explaining why and what kind of older versions are meant. Okay, next in here is the privacy settings. Share OS deploy user statistic to improve user experience. Okay, this is something within the action buttons you can change if you wish. Then there is always a right to erasure, by meaning if you remove a user and then within the removal dialog, you will get the ability to add an own new email address, contact details. So all informations, reports, whatever has been sent to this particular user won't get lost. They will be forwarded to the new mail address. Okay, now then there is, of course, a rebranding section. If you wish, you can rebrand. Dark background. What's meant with that? Cool thing that. If you go click on that avatar symbol, you will see here the appearance, dark mode. You can change to the dark mode. And within this personalize, you can change the session expiration time. You see, this is until 6 hours what you can choose. And here is the time format and the display language. There is a multi-language pack you can license and change then to other languages. English is the standard language. Okay, authentication. Here you can change your password if you have a local admin account. All right, next is the domain. We need to add at least a work group. I don't have an Active Directory. You could add an Active Directory here, but I have the work group. Within Endpoint Central, the OS deployment allows you even to add Entra ID domains. All right, add a work group. I'll name it work group. Admin username. Yeah, that's ketchup. Password. And domain. All right. Now, what else do we have? we have remote offices. A remote office is a distant location where you can add a distribution server um, for the to have all the images and driver collections in that location. Yeah, you choose your domain credentials. You choose here the replication policy. What's the replication policy? I'll create one with unlimited. I always have it unlimited. Data transfer rate. You can reduce it if this location has not a good bandwidth. Replication interval and the days. You can choose the days and the timetable where you want to have a replication only. Save. Okay, then image repository and driver repository for that particular remote office. You can add driver repositories here and image repositories. We'll see that dialog once we create an image. It's getting automatic there. All right, what else? We have the privacy settings. Yeah, that's something. No, we've been in there. The export settings. When you export some tables, some information, some reports, create them, then you can let the technician decide to mask, remove, or retain the personal informations. I always love choices, so that's what I select here. Now, we have had the domain, rebranding, credential manager, remote office, replication policy. Now we do need users. Yeah, the user section, we haven't covered that yet. Add user, either Active Directory authentication or local authentication. And then there is a role. Administrator can, of course, do anything. A guest can see things only. OS deployer can do everything except, let's say, adding users, changing database settings, or deep inside Endpoint Central settings, OS deployer settings. Then here you can choose already a pre-configured language for that particular user. Roles can be added and changed here if you wish. Secure authentication. There's a two-factor authentication, of course, available. Email, either email or authenticator app. And there are lots of authenticator apps more. These are just samples supported. The OTP can be kept in the browser for 0, 1, 7, 15, whatever days you wish. Then there is a user account policy. Yeah, to create logouts and even the session expiration time for users. We could reduce it that they can just choose for their convenience below 2 hours, whatever they wish. This password policy is only for the local user. All right. I'll stick with the standard user. The password, I can change it here with modify. And no, I can't change it here. I have to change it, of course, here within the personalized section, authentication, old password, admin, a new password. I won't tell you. That's wrong. Save. Okay, let's do that log out and log in thingy. Oops. Huh? Okay. Okay, now We should start, shouldn't we? Creating an image and see on the run what's going on. Configure image, create image repository, driver repository. This is to be done first, primarily. Okay, why not? Let's do that. Create an image repository. And yes, I want to have it automatically. OS deploy, the credentials, keep that one for automate. Use this repository for automatic driver collection. Ha! Easy. All done with one dialog. I love it. Create image. Okay, now, yeah, I have my recommendations. Of course, always I have my recommendations. Look, this is a Windows 11 client. Only the client, nothing in here yet. Let's have a look in the control panel. No software installed. Yeah, so why do I choose a virtual machine and Windows and without any software? Because when I create an image from that, there is nearly no or just a little background noise captured as well. And those images are tiny, are small, and can be deployed easily. As well, I always recommend having a golden image, a system like that captured, what is not domain joined. Why? Computer policies. In my experience, I had it a lot of times, even with SCCM, I had a lot of times that problems, that issues. Yeah, a system has been deployed successfully. All fine. All software. I deployed all software on it. I gave that my employee this new machine. Everything worked a few weeks, and then there were some problems, and we couldn't find out what problems randomly. And always, or mostly, it has been some computer policies, old policies we haven't been aware of most of the times, that have been deployed on that systems. So I prefer a clean setup. So I'm gonna open the download folder already, because I'm gonna have to download the image creator component, because I have no systems already within a domain what I could choose. I do it with the in a manual way. I download the component, and now it will, yeah, I will just copy paste this zip. I will extract that and run the setup, and then I will refresh this page. Let's see it. Open the File Explorer, copy that file, copy, close it. Let's go back to that machine, paste. Now let's extract it and show all files when completed. Thank you very much, and run the setup. Yes. Installing OS components, OSD components. Okay, that's been quick. Where is my dialog? Oh, here. Yeah. It starts after it could establish a connection to the server. It starts automatically the console. So here, let's just get out with a okay, and then let's just close that, because we will go through here, the server. Let's just refresh that page, and now we should find no, don't show that again. We should find the system. Yes, there it is. Fetch partition details. validating the image creator components, and fetching disk partition details. Okay, let's name that thing. Windows, no, Win 11. Whoa. And I always recommend getting a build number after it. So my build number is WinVer. It's a 25H2 and 262008875. Okay. Because then you know when you create a new image, because maybe after a while, after a few weeks or months, the golden image will be, outdated due to missing patches. You will patch that system and create an image again. And then afterwards, you just change the image in all the templates and wherever it is needed. You could use version numbers as well, of course, V1, V2, whatever. Okay, we have a compression level, reducing the size. As higher as you have it, as more CPU it will need, of course. Memory usage, I will take a high because the system is not in use from anyone. Select the store, image store. This is the one we created. It will, prior the imaging process, it will always check if there is enough available space for it. Shrink partition and start imaging. Okay, this 98.3 gig is free. If I go to shrink partition and start imaging, it will give me the option to shrink prior the imaging. The total size before shrink is 99 gig size of available, and what I will have later, 29 gig. So let's shrink that partition. And then let's start imaging. Let's see how quick it is. This is running on my laptop in virtual environments. Of course, my laptop is a Framework 16 with an AI9 and a 96 gig RAM. But the virtual machines don't have that amount of power as my laptop. Okay, nearly finished. We will get it below 1 minute. Let's see. Yep, 49 seconds. That's quick. And we have a size of the image 16.5 gigabyte. Okay, and some more informations within the details. Okay, now what else do we need? Let's go to the deploy section. We will need a create section. It will be first. Of course, we will need a customize. Left, right, and the middle it is. Customize. And we will need a deployment template. But prior we build up a deployment template because I know it is needed. I want to spare some time. I will go to the deploy section and create a boot medium first. PXE, USB, or ISO. I'm using an ISO file because within my Hyper-V environment, it is the easiest way. WinPE tool install location. You can manually install it or let ManageEngine do it for you. And then we will have to add vendor drivers or add drivers from repository. Is there something in the repository at the moment? Scan completed. Okay. Discovered drivers. Yeah, this is only this drivers. And I want to create the boot medium. Let's go back there. ISO media. And there are no network hardware drivers in. So I need to select some other drivers. Is it needed? Let's see. Select network and hardware drivers. Okay. Let's add some window drivers. Select drivers and let's just take the what's it, 11. Just to get that repository filled and to start media creation. Now let's go back to the template. While it's working, yeah, create deployment template. We'll name it. This is simple, Win 11. We can get a pro on it. We don't need the build numbers here because we will choose the images here. So the template can always be the same. We just modify it and change the image. So all the work we do now is done only once if you don't want to have different settings. Specify hard disk number to deploy the image. It might be needed to change that. Disk adjustment, I always leave it at enabled so that all the remaining space will be automatically allocated. Post-deployment actions. Reboot the computer after it, of course. Apply settings to computers using configurations below or with computer-specific settings. We could add computer-specific settings from a CV file what we import or add them here. Adding MAC address or service tag, select a user profile backup what we want to have in there again, and then the target name, we can choose it here already, and the domain join, and add local users or domain users. Okay. Now let's go back to the other tab. This is something I really remain with given below settings now. No user profile backup I'm getting. Retain existing SID might not be a good idea, so generate new SID. And if I want to have patterns automatically naming the computers, you can define them here or choose to name the system during the deployment. A domain join can be done here through the edit. I only have the work group. Local user accounts out of the image can be chosen or add a new user here and the group name, guest users, administrators. Okay, and domain user accounts can be added, of course, after a domain join. Applications to install. You could add here some specific drivers. Yeah, add new application. This is the dialog, software or driver, and choose here to upload the install files and the command install commands and the exit code. It is pretty easy. And within the Endpoint Central, where you have even software deployment section, in one of the next versions from Endpoint Central, it will be even available. You will be even able to select the software packages with pre-post deployment activities you can set up there. Okay, and what else do we have to do? Nothing. We just save it. Create deployment template. Done. So as the next, we will need to deploy it. Of course, I want to show a deployment process as well. Okay, deployment task. We need to add a deployment task. What's about the boot medium? Is it status yet to start? It's still in progress. Okay, we'll leave it working. And we will create a deployment task. There's something to tell about those tasks. Add a task. And I will name that Windows 11 Pro, because it's what we want to deploy there. We choose the deployment template. You see, Windows 11 Pro. We don't need to change anything here. Let's say I go back to the customized deployment template. Let's say you have created a new image because the system, the old image, has too many missing patches and patch management will take too long time. Then you just go here and modify and change the image. That's all. Save it, modify, and that's it. And back where we've been, the deployment task is only working with the deployment template. So no work else to do here. Next, local office. This is only what we have. We don't have other remote offices. Deployment mode. This is a passcode. You can change it here, or you can write something on your own. No. And even if you wish, you can modify it to a 6 digits. 6 digits. English is difficult for me. Huh? I'm a German. And initiate deployment using service tag or MAC address at computers at service tag MAC address. You could do that here as well for automatic initiation. Next is deployment method. Choose unicast or multicast and a wait period in minutes or hours. I'll explain what that means. Means when we add a deployment task like this with a wait period, we can start the deployment task and then it will be a countdown getting down backwards from 10 minutes. And in that time period, the deployment will be possible only within that time limit. You can schedule it even daily in specific for a specific time and have it weekly, or monthly even. Okay, schedule deployment. I will take that off. Add deployment task. That's it. Show code, my code, and here the action, deploy now, and then deployment waiting time will count down. The instant task is the same thing. Just select here. The only difference is there is no time running. This is a 7 days, 24 hours working deployment. I always prefer a deployment task because with a time period, because I don't want to have it always available in the environment. Standalone task, create a boot template and a bootable media where you can deploy in standalone environments. There's a zero-touch task as well. If there are agents already to live machines with an agent, you can reboot those systems and install those systems. Deployment status, nothing to see at the moment because we don't have a running deployment. Let's see what about the deployment boot media. Is it ready? Status in progress is being created. Okay, we still have to wait. It took a while to install the ADK tool. So usually if the ADK tool is installed, it'll be quicker. Okay, so now let's just wait for the boot medium is finished, and I will pause in the video in that time. Well, it completed 2 seconds after I stopped the recording. Fine. Next, what we need to do is to download that. Okay, let's go here and local office, download the media. Explorer, downloads, just wait. There it is. Okay, fine. Now I'm gonna put that to be run on that on my test machine, on the other one. Where's my Hyper-V? There's my Hyper-V. I will install it on that Windows 11 client test. So let's change the settings and boot from file. Change this one is DVD. I need the file I want. I have to copy it. Okay, first 7 VMs. Let's put it there. Data. Let's put it here. Let's remove that old one from July. Copy. Oh, it has a different name. Okay, nice. Come on. Now let's change the ISO file to that one open. Yeah, 6th August, 10 o'clock at night. Nice. Open and apply. And I have the boot from DVD. I have to get that first. Apply. Okay. Yeah, of course, PXE could be possible as well. But I'll stick with USB or ISO in that case. I just want to show it really quick. Okay. Now let's power on my machine. And no, first, no one told me. You have to stop me. You have to tell me. You forgot something, Jürgen. I have to start the task. Now the task is in progress. Now it will be working. So now let's get the machine fired up, and hopefully I'm quick enough getting my cursor in that window then. Connect. Start. Yeah, PE environment is booting up. This could be rebranded. Server connection. Nice, nice, nice. Now we need the authentication code or the admin credentials. I barely remember my code. R2D2. Yeah. So now we can rename the computer. Let's, this is the name of the initial computer what we imaged, and we will give it another name now. This is Win11, and we will say Pro Demo, whatever. Assign. After the last reboot, it will be applied then. Oh, let's go move to the console. It shows me everything. So, deployment status. Here, deployment status, 36%. Post-deployment status pending. Okay, let's go into the deployment. What's going on here? Speed, deployment progress, some infos, post-deployment details, summary, nothing yet. Done. Deployment in progress, 96%. This is live, okay? I'll get the other machine. You see it on in here, live on the machine, and you see what is performed on the server. Expected time 1 minute 23 seconds. You're overdue. Okay, post deployment is starting. Disk refresh and adjustment. Let's move it on by side here. Completed. 1 minute. Now is the next activity to be performed. Recovery configuration completed. Security identifier generation. Okay. Let's get this here. Computer SID change in progress. See, it's live. I'm not pausing the video because I want to show everything what's going on. If you want, you can do fast forward. Start time 10:04 p.m. And now we do have 10:09. 5 minutes already. System reboot is in progress. We just do nothing at the moment. Machine reboot is done. Post-deployment activities. What else? Phase 2. Domain change, computer name change, driver installation, machine reboot. Oh, in progress. Yeah, that's another reboot. Now let's log in. With the admin or the user account, the local user account I provided within the template. Here it is. And here is the name of the computer, Windows 11 Pro Demo. Nice thing. It worked. Shut down. And we have the completed task here. Deployment details, the trunk partition, post-deployment details, what's been performed, and how long everything has been taken. You always have here the choice for more columns. I'm choosing duration because that's what I wanted to see, how long it took. Yeah, that's a lie. Yeah, you know that. That's a lie. We started at 10:04 and now it is 10:12. But okay, fine. Give it a 5 or 6 minutes. That's not a lot. Cool thing. Something else to tell about the OS deployer. Here is a support section where you have general information about the database, installation information, and the upgrade details. And you have the support section, live chat, or the user community FAQs as well, knowledge base, and here are some other helpful resources, online guide, and raise a ticket with the vendor call or a chat. Fine. That's all. And when we go to the home tab, we have an overview of all the completed tasks. Here we have some how-tos still, some knowledge base FAQ and videos, and there is as well the roadmap. If you want to leave some new ideas, then please describe your use case in detail. And ManageEngine, because all the code is owned from ManageEngine, is reviewing it and providing you a feedback if it will be applied or not, if it is on the roadmap or not. As well, I would like to use the opportunity to give you the link again, ManageEngine.com. Products and just review all the products ManageEngine has. There are a lot of helpful solutions, and every single piece of software is code owned and programmed from ManageEngine. That's it for today's tutorial OS Deployer Standalone Edition. If you enjoyed it, don't forget to leave a thumbs up. See you soon.